Are you feeling stuck in Fortnite? Well, then this video is for you. Today, I'm talking about everything you need to do to stop feeling stuck and start feeling the sense of improvement yet again. Videos like these take a lot of planning, so if you enjoy them, please consider using code MarinTM in the Fortnite item shop. Once we hit 1,000 users, I'll post daily for 1 week, and if we somehow manage to get to 2,000 users, I'll post daily for 1 month. We're currently on 224 users, so thank you all for that. The first reason a lot of players get stuck is because they overcomplicate getting eliminations. The way you should get eliminations in tournaments is starting a fight with a player, looking at the opponent and seeing how he's building, how he's using his movement, and understanding how he is playing. Sadly though, there are so many Fortnite players who start a fight and start looking at their mechanics. They start triple editing, double editing down, doing some complicated edits and build drills that are completely meaningless. If you want to sustainably improve over the long term, you can't care about how you get your eliminations, because a lot of players care about how they look when they eliminate a player, especially in terms of mechanics. If you want to stop being stuck, you need to understand that mechanics in terms of building and editing is useless if you can't have full awareness over the opponent and punish him for the mistakes he makes. Another massive reason people get stuck is because they don't understand unique skills. Now, what do I mean with unique skills? Well, let's ask ourselves, what are skills every decent Fortnite player has? Let's start with mechanics. Everyone and their grandmother have good mechanics in 2023. So to become a top player with just mechanics, that is just not possible. So doing those build fight 1v1s is a waste of time. Aim. Most decent players have good aim. Very few have phenomenal aim. So this is more so a unique skill to have than mechanics, but still not anything super special. But playing Kovacs is undeniably a better use of your time compared to playing those brainless build fight 1v1s. Let's talk about awareness. Now we're getting into the territory of uniqueness. Most non-focused competitive players have terrible awareness. So if we can learn a top tier awareness by playing an unhealthy amount of customs, we will have a competitive advantage. Understanding what not everybody else is good at is remarkably important, not only to get good at Fortnite, but also to succeed at any aspect of life. If you have a quality that is unique in anything, you will see success. Moving on to a completely different topic, I want to talk about having an ego in duo tournaments. Now, what I'm about to say is something I recently did, and I am such a drone for this one, but since I did it, there is surely somebody else thinking this way. So recently, I got the opportunity to play with a much better player than me in a tournament, and in a game, he had 8 elims and I had 1. So when I saw that and got into a fight, I thought I need these 2 elims. It's gonna be so embarrassing if he gets 10 and I only have 1. So you guys are all probably able to connect the dots. Because of my ego and this thought, I ended up dying in the fight. And after that happened, I thought to myself, why did I just throw in a duo tournament that me and this guy are playing together as a team so that the kill ratio could look better? It is such a stupid thing. And if you're ever lucky enough to play with somebody who can get those eliminations quicker than you, or even if it just kill steals you, just allow it. Keep playing the way you're playing, don't get an ego, and don't think going into a fight that you need to equalize the kills. Because you're a team, and I low-key am adding this bit just for myself to view in the future, but I know one of you guys, a minimum, has had this thought as well. And it is such a dumb reason not to perform in a tournament you play as a team, because it is. So far, we've been talking about some ways to play differently and think differently. But at the end of the day, a player is only as good as his equipment allows him to be. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy a whole lot of new gear, because all you need to do is some maintenance for a lot better performance from your current gear. I recently did a full factory reset on my PC, and let me tell you, before this factory reset, my PC spiked down to 30 FPS in fights, and it was super slow. I do need to note that I also repasted my GPU and CPU with new thermal paste, so that definitely helped as well, but sometimes doing a factory reset is worth it. The performance increase you can achieve by doing this simple reset will for many be more than worth it. So ask yourself, am I stuck because my performance is simply that bad? And is it time to do some maintenance and maybe a factory reset? Next up, I have a cheat code to understand what you need to work on. Right now, if you're feeling stuck, take the next few days and play 20 games of ranked. That'll be key absolutely everyone, and write down the cause of you getting eliminated in each of these 20 games. The cause can be aim, mechanics, awareness, movement, whatever you feel is an attribute that caused you to get eliminated. The reason 5 or 10 games isn't enough is because it's not really a big enough pool of games to give you a clear answer to what your problem is. Naturally, if you have time to do even more than 20 games, then that is fantastic. But 20 should give you a good idea of what your weakness is as a player. You see, the problem with young, talented players nowadays is that their skill set isn't evenly distributed. Some players have 100k PR level mechanics, but 0 PR level awareness. So let's say you do your 20 rounds and you notice that you didn't get eliminated once because of your mechanics. Maybe that's a sign to stop doing build fight 1v1s and stop spending a lot of time free building, as your mechanics are your strong points. If you ended up getting eliminated multiple times because of your aim, it might be time to hit some Kovacs, do some aim duels, maybe run a few games of 0 builds, and just really put your time in wisely on improving your actual weakness. This is the problem behind why a lot of people stagnate. They keep pushing their strengths further and further every day, and they never stop and take a look at what might be their actual weaknesses. And the weaknesses are costing them those great tournament results. And by doing this strategy, you can know with full certainty that the next time you get on, you won't waste your time practicing something you're already amazing at. Moving on, we need to talk about the fact that improvement isn't linear, especially not in Fortnite. Imagine how amazing it would have felt if every week you got on for a tournament, you would perform better than in the last one. But as we all know, that is not the case. Trusting the process of putting in work daily is really important in Fortnite. Even if you go from a top 200 finish to a top 2000 finish in a cup, you might still be on the right path to success, although the results show the opposite. Wherever you place in tournaments shouldn't affect your motivation to grind, especially not if becoming a professional player is a dream of yours. If you let your emotions play in to how much you practice, it's gonna be very difficult to get to the top level. For a lot of players, getting a bad result makes them demotivated. But for the best players in the world, it motivates them to play even more and grind even harder. So if you're feeling stuck, be honest with yourself. Do you practice less when you get a bad tournament result? And do you understand that improvement in Fortnite isn't linear? If I made that a little hard to understand, let me simplify it a little bit. What I think is the main cause to a lot of people failing to succeed is putting way too short goals. I've heard hundreds of my viewers say that this is the season I'm gonna grind harder than anyone. That's great. Grinding hard towards a goal is fantastic. But if you're not the most talented Fortnite player ever, one season isn't gonna put you anywhere near the top. Sure, you might get into the top 750 players in Europe or NA if you grind your ass off every single day. But getting into that top 100 or even top 200 takes hours of grinding every day for multiple seasons in a row. So instead of saying this season, change it to for the next 3 seasons, I'm gonna be grinding harder than everyone. Because if you manage to have this mentality and you play the right things, you will undeniably succeed. And there you have it. 6 ways to stop being stuck in competitive Fortnite. Videos like these take a long time to structure, so if you learned anything today, consider liking the video and using code MARINTM in the Fortnite item shop. On 1k users, I'll post daily videos like these for 7 days straight. Thank you all so much for the continued support. I love you all so incredibly much. And I'll of course see you very, very soon.